is use all the tools in your toolbox about how can you manipulate an equation. There is no solving for a specific answer. Okay? What this is it says here, solve the following equations for x. There are multiple ways that you could do this. What I see may not be what you see, but you have to maintain your properties. Okay? So, in other words, it's kind of like a more sophisticated, when you were in 7th grade, maybe, I don't know, you guys, if you had the formula, let's see, what was it? Circumference is equal to 2 pi r, right? Is that what it is? 2 pi r? It's been a while since I've done circumference. Okay. If you had that, what? No, that's area. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Circumference is 2 pi r, or what else is it? There's two formulas. Pi times diameter. There you go. Okay, so either one. All right. Let's take this one because it's so simple. Did you ever have to change it and find the diameter? Okay. So if you had circumference is equal to pi times d, how would you do that?
You get pi. You would multiply and divide, right? Oh, divide only.
Right? Does that make sense? Okay. So this is the same thing, just more complicated. No, I'm just showing you something you should have known already.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay? All right? So this is the same thing, you just have more complicated formulas. That was an easy formula to manipulate. And you could do it in basically one step. All right? So now we're going to go to things that take more than one step to do. All right? So here we go. We have this. And we need to end up with x equals. And like I said, there are several different ways you could do this. So I need to end up with x by itself on one side of the equal sign. So like any equation, I'm going to subtract 3b from both sides. That takes care of this. I end up with ax is equal to 2f minus 3b. Remember I said algebra is like puzzles, okay? But there's more than one way to, sometimes you do the outside first, then you do the inside. Sometimes you do all the colors reds together. So there's different ways you can solve a puzzle, okay? The same thing goes for algebra, all right? So here we are. Ax, I need x by itself. That is what operation? Multiplication. What breaks apart multiplication? Division or multiplying by the inverse. Either way, we're more comfortable with division. So that ends up being x is equal to 2f minus 3b over a. Now, just so you realize this, okay, I'm also going to write it as x is equal to 2f over a minus 3b over a. Either answer would be acceptable. Okay?
That's all we have to do.
This one, yeah. Okay.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Okay, let's do number 3 next. Okay? That was scaring you, huh? Come on. Hey, I got this for you. Fractions are your friend, right? I told you this at the beginning of school. fractions are your friend.
Miss, I made a joke a while back.
No. Fractions are your friends. You made a joke. It was good, Ben. Okay? All right. Here we go. We are going to take this. Do you see how... Now look. Why do you think I wanted to show you that this could be written like this?
But we can write it like that.
Because I got to get what by itself?
X.
How do I get rid of well, I could do it a couple different ways. I could do it and split it up, okay? But it would be easier to do this how do I get rid of that denominator? How do I get rid of that denominator out of that fraction? Multiply by what?
4.
Okay, 4 over 1, that's correct. If I do that, and I remember what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. Okay, so what is this? Simplify before you. So you simplify and you end up with x plus b is equal to, what's 4 times c? 4c. Now, was that scary, Ben?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Now you need to get x by itself. What are you going to do?
Minus B.
Subtract b from both sides. Can I combine 4c and b?
No.
So it's going to be 4c subtract b, and you're done.
Number 2 is so easy. The number 2
Okay. Lord have mercy. Okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're never going to get through these. All right, let's look at number 2. We want x equals, okay? Remember I told you there's more than one way to do this. So you have to decide what you see and how to do it, okay? I see this. I want to get my sx and my rx together. They need to be on the same side because they have x's, okay? Then I can manipulate some things. So I'm going to subtract rx from both sides. Okay? So this cancels each other out. I end up with h is equal to, and I'm going to put sx minus rx, and I'm going to leave this k way out there. Okay? I'm going to put it doesn't matter what order I put it in, as long as I keep the signs correct, we're doing good. Okay? Now I'm going to get rid of that k. Okay? So I'm going to add k to this side, add k to this side. Okay? And I'm going to have h plus k is equal to sx minus rx. Right? Okay. This is where you have to know what your properties are and how to use them. Okay? Now, is sx minus rx, and I'm going to ask this question, the same as x times r, s minus r? No. Think about what I just asked you. If I have sx minus rx, is that the same as that?
Yeah.
What property is that? The distributive property of multiplication, correct? Okay? So, can I just change the way I write this? It doesn't change the value, does it?
No.
Okay, so now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write h plus k is equal to, and I'm going to pull my x out, s minus r. Now, like I said before, there's more than one way to do this problem, okay? This is what I see, and I can see it more than one way, but this is the easiest for me. You may see it differently, okay? What operation is this? No, what operation is it? Multiplication. How do we undo multiplication? So if I divide this side by s minus r, I divide this side by s minus r, I now can cancel those out, and I end up with x is equal to h plus k over s minus r. Pretty cool, isn't it? You should feel very powerful when you can do things like that. Yes, you can. Okay? All right? And I promise, you'll be okay. You just have to think about what it is, how you can manipulate something, and what can work for you. All right, let's try the next one. I kind of got in its way, so I'm just gonna rewrite it right here, okay? X over 5 minus 7. Now this should be easy, guys, okay? Come on, it's a fraction. Fractions are your friends. Let's first get rid of our 7. How about that? Okay, what are we gonna do to the 7? We're gonna add 7 to both sides, okay? So we end up with x over 5 is equal to 2q plus 7. Come on, how do I get rid of my 5? Because it's 1 over 5x right now, right? Okay, so multiply by the inverse. Very good. So we're going to multiply by 5 over 1. Multiply each term by 5 over 1. How many terms do we have over here? 2. So this one has to be multiplied by 5 over 1. And this one has to be multiplied by 5 over 1, okay? Or you could, I'll show you something else. X is equal to, what's 5 times 2? 10q plus what? 35. Okay, I probably would have accepted also X is equal to, if you had left it as 5 times 2q plus 7. Okay, do you see how those are the same? All I've done here is distribute but when you have a plus or a minus sign, you have to make sure and just do it to both terms. Okay? The only thing your calculator is going to do for you here is the computation. Okay? It's not going to be able to help you out for much else. All right, the last two are kind of complicated. Okay, so let's do number 6 and then we'll do number 5. Okay, number 6. Look at that. Oh my goodness, scare me to death, doesn't it? Okay. This is easy?
No.
Wait, can you do it for us?
No, I was joking.
Oh, okay. I can tell you this. The first thing I want to do is because I need to solve for what? H. So I got to get H by itself. I want to get rid of what? My fraction. So that's just me. I always want to get rid of that. So I'm going to take the whole thing. And I'm going to multiply it by 2 over 1. Because all this is multiplication, right? So as long as I multiply by the inverse, I'm getting rid of everything, right? I'm getting rid of that fraction. I've got to do the same thing over here, 2 over 1. So I end up with 2a is equal to, well, this 2 cancels that 2 out. I end up with h b1 plus b2. Okay. Oh.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is the A capitalized?
Because it's for area. That is a formula on your formula chart from way back when, like 7th and 6th grade. We don't have it in 8th grade. Okay? That is a formula from that is a trapezoid formula. Okay? Where'd the 2 go? All right. So now we're solving for H. This is what kind of operation? No. Correct. When you say distributive, that's a property, okay? An operation is multiply, divide, square, add, subtract, square root, cube root, all right? So, if we have multiplication, how do we get rid of it? Can I divide? See, H3 or 3H is the same as B1 plus B2 times H. I mean, it just means multiplication, right? So I can just I can divide to get rid of this, right? Those cancel each other out. Divide this side by B1 plus B2, and I end up with 2A over B1 plus B2 is equal to H. Now I'm telling you there's more than one way to do these things, okay? I could have done that first. I could have divided everything by B1, but to me, I just like getting rid of them fractions, okay? All right, let's look at this last one. And I'm going to do it on the back. X over 6 minus X over 7 is equal to AB. And we're still solving for X. Okay? What do 6 and 7 have in common? What is their common multiple? Common multiple? 42. Right? I think this is, like I said, there's more than one way to do this. I see 42 here. Okay? So, 42 on this side over 1. 42 over 1 on there, 42 over 1 on here. I'm getting rid of my fractions. Told you I don't like them. Okay? 6 goes into itself how many times? 6 goes into 42 how many times? 7. 7 times X is what? Oh, okay, fraction gone. 7 goes into 42 how many times? So 6 times X is, so minus 6X is equal to 42 times 1, right? 42AB. Okay? 7 minus 6 is what? I can combine these, they're the same term, right? X is equal to 42AB. Alright. Volume is equal to pi r squared h. Solve for h. Yeah, on my head. That's volume of a cylinder. Okay? Volume of a cylinder right there. This is your big B, right? Big BH. Ah, yeah. B is equal to big BH. This is your H, and pi r squared is the area of a circle, right? Okay? So, who wants to tell me what would you do to solve for H?
I don't even know.
No. Here. Right here, what would you do to solve for H? I want you all to write it down on your paper and try. No, try. To solve for H. Only operation that's hey guys, listen. The only operation that's going on here is, like Eduardo says, multiplication. How do you get rid of the parts you don't want? Divide by those parts.
See, I was right.
Are you even listening and paying attention and trying? That's my question. If this is only multiplication and we get rid of all the parts we don't want by dividing by those parts, try dividing by the parts you don't want. You want to solve where h equals. You're solving for h. Every one of you should be trying while you have a chance, instead of staring there waiting for me to do it for you. I'm looking at all of you, and looking at Ben's paper ain't going to help you. Because you're not thinking. Okay. Who said I am thinking? What two things do you want to get rid of? So, what are you going to do?
Okay. I see now. My eyes are open. Miss, I got that. I got that about 2 seconds.
You guys are making it. You need to understand. You're looking at it. It's very abstract. I know it's abstract. Okay, algebra is abstract, but you need to look at it and say, okay, what do I want to get rid of? I can divide by that because this is just multiplication. Okay, and not get so caught up in, oh my God, I got a pi, I got an r squared, and, what am I going to do? Okay? Most of you know what to do. That was your facial expression, yes. Okay? All right, I'm stopping the recording.